mean, my God, how big do you think this iceberg really is?
It's huge. And I'm a very cautious investor. You know, it wasn't like I'm a high-roller speculator. I've been building my positions very slowly with the intention of taking delivery. And they took the money out of my account. I'll tell you what my position is. I wrote about it in the Trends Journal. It's there in black and white. I recommend that people have only operating expenses in their bank. Why do you think you hear all of these stories over the years about people putting their money under their mattress? Because the banks are going to steal it from you. And Alex, I don't want to use that word banks anymore. Let's call it by its proper name. They're loan sharks. That's all they are. They're loan sharks. Can anybody say those words? Stop calling them bankers, because that's all they are. That's all what this is about. Austerity measures in Europe. The loan sharks want their money. Who made the bad bets? You're asking the people who lost their jobs, that never had jobs, that have degrees in worthlessness from coming out of school and being in debt, to bail out the bankers that made bad bets. That's all this is. Look who, as I said, look who they put in charge of running Italy now. The wonderful technocrat, Super Mario Monti. They call him Super Mario. How about three-card Monty? Where did he come from? The Trilateral Commission. Another Goldman Sachs guy, by the way, just for the record. Yeah, how about calling Italy Government Sachs? And who's the clown that they just put over there from Greece? Oh, the wonderful Greek democracy. They brought in, quote, a technocrat, and all of the prostitutes. The New York Times, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. What respected men they are. He comes from the European Central Bank. He was the vice president. The banks are taking over. The loan sharks want their money. That's all this is. So what I'm saying, for me, only operating expenses. I have a secure place, not very far away, but far away enough where I put my money and my possessions that no one will find but me.
And you got to carry a heater, and you got to be physically trained and ready to
blow anybody's brains out in a second that tries to come into my life and break in. You know, I'll make it really clear. I will protect my rights. If my life is threatened, I'll take anybody's life that tries to take mine.
Gerald, you hit on something key here. The media always demonizes old-timers. Old-timers were just the generations before us that had already been through this over and over again. They knew how to farm. They weren't going to let any government bureaucrat come around and boss them around. They had guns, and they weren't playing games. And they didn't want any government help in all this bull because they had lived through it. And now we're about to find out those old-timers weren't stupid like the corporate whore prostitutes told us they were. They were smart, and the general public was conned, because it's clear now. How bad is this depression going to get, Gerald? And then I want you to get into what are you planning to do to these creatures over here at this company, MF Global. What are you going to do to these people? Because they're so arrogant now. They've obviously been, like we learned 11 years ago, Prudential and others were told. This is Bloomberg even reported this last year. Nobody got in trouble. For those that didn't see it, the major insurance companies got together with the Department of Defense and said, we're going to trick people with a form we send them telling them, get your husband's death benefits if he died from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War I. We're going to get that money. We want those trillions. And the U.S. government said, yeah, thank you. We're going to help you steal that money. And then they steal the death benefits. I mean, Bank of America's on record taking houses, forget not having the deed that they never even owned part of. I mean, people, when Gerald says it, he's not just saying it. These are actual above-the-law criminals with the entire Department of Defense backing them, and brainwashed police who have been hired in the psychological evaluations because they're mentally ill bullies. Not all of them, but that's who they're trying to recruit. I mean, folks, It's like Jim Rogers said. He said yesterday, get out of the U.S., but where are you going to run? It's Nazi Germany, it's Soviet Russia, but it's America style. Gerald, I know I'm ranting, but where do you see things going, and how do we fight back? Obviously, we pull our money out. I've got to get behind this now 100%. I mean, this is out of control. And what do you do to these people who arrogantly say, you're not getting your money, and Mr. Celente, we're shutting your account down? You got that? I mean, that is just, man, these people are arrogant.
Oh, yeah, they're arrogant because look who they are. I mean, look at John Corzine. You know, they just shut down a whole bunch of New York City one time. As a matter of fact, I think you were there when they were doing it one time as well, when Obama came into town.
Yes.
Yeah, John Corzine throwing these $35,000, you know, a ticket dinner to go sit down with Obama. They're all one of the boys. Anybody that breaks the rules a little bit, the goons come in, put you in handcuffs, throw you in jail. Corzine walks. $600 million they can't find. He's fine at home. How come he's not in jail until they sort this out, like they would do to you and me? Because he's one of the white shoe boys, a member of the Goldman Sachs gang. I want to make this really clear, Alex. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. If the names on Wall Street were named Celente, Caruso, Mondavi, Puccini, Rossini, they make it a great mafia movie. Hey, Sumner Redstone. That's right. Or is it Rothstein? How about doing a movie on the Wall Street Gang? I've had enough of The Sopranos. I've had enough of Jersey Shore. How about doing one on the Wall Street Gang and name their names? Because I'm sick and tired of you and these other cheap SOBs running Italians into the ground. If Corzine's name was Celente, you SOBs would be making a mafia movie over it. But no, you read the New York Times. Oh, it's a sad day for Corzine. His pride is so hurt. Oh, it wasn't bad enough losing the governorship. But now, of course, he has lost some face in the investment community. That's the way they handle it. How about going, you know, Bloomberg cleared out Zuccotti Park. It was, he said, an unsanitary condition. You want to see a lot of crap, Bloomberg? It's up to here, right down the street on Wall Street. How about shoveling up that crap? This is a lot of baloney, Alex. Fascism has come to America. I've said it over and over again. The merger of state and corporate powers, it's worldwide. Super Mario, the banker, is taking over in Italy. Another clown banker has just taken over in Greece. And the bankers have already taken over America.
And by the way, Gerald, in 2002, we got the IMF World Bank documents where they plan to bring down Europe first, then Asia, then the United States. They're just imploding each country as they move along. And my issue is, how much, I mean, will we put up with? We've got the government shipping guns into Mexico being caught so they can try to attack the Second Amendment. We have lamp poles being put up by Homeland Security with microphones listening to us. They're groping small children. They're putting TSA checkpoints on the road. Meanwhile, the people serving the system are having their whole future destroyed.
Here's what I recommend. Pull your money out of the banks. Take it out. What are you getting for keeping your money in the bank?
Zero.
Zero. Why would you, and what are they loaning it out at? You're late on your credit card, they hear for 30%. You're giving them your money so they can make money on you. Number two, all this Black Friday crap. They're making people work on Thanksgiving. Don't buy anything from the chain stores. I keep saying it over and over again. Break the chains, because as long as you keep supporting them, you're going to be chained by them. Support the workers. They make the workers in this country seem like we're a bunch of losers and that we're lucky to have jobs by the good graces of the corporations. Break the chains. Don't buy a damn thing you don't have to buy this Christmas. How about, hey, how about this for a wild idea, Alex? How about celebrating Christmas, I don't want to get in trouble for this, in the spirit of Christ? How about giving from the heart? How about going out and helping people that need help? How about every gift that you give the loved one, try to make it, bake it, do something yourself. Don't go out and buy a bunch of plastic crap that a kid is never going to use and you don't need.
Well, Gerald, listen, as you know, until the 30s and 40s when they commercialized it, Christmas was about cooking with the family, making candy, fudge, cookies. It was about going down and helping the poor. I mean, I'm not saying my family's perfect, but most Christmases, we would actually go down to the Salvation Army. We would actually, and let me tell you, that was a lot more valuable than some cheap toy to go down and see homeless people and serve them soup all day and help them out. And the fact that people would look at that as so wonderful, that's not wonderful. That's what people always did. That's what Christmas was. You know, just like the Christmas Carol, it was about helping Tiny Tim. But it's the opposite now. You're right. We go into debt to these banksters, buying a bunch of crap we don't need and we can't afford, made in China. So I agree. If we do buy stuff, it should be from little arts and craft stores, made in America. At the same time, we went to the beach and got a bunch of seashells that we've painted. We're going to give to family as soap dishes. I'm not saying I'm great or something. The point is you're right. That's what Christmas is really about, family time and helping people. By the way, I've got to stop you, Gerald. It just broke in Reuters. It's just now coming out in the last hour that the federal government, if I go back to that last headline, there's a headline from Forbes, MF Global, where did the money go? And then there's another report from Reuters saying that the CFTC has a dim view and believes it may be nefarious. Commissioner suspects nefarious MF Global activity. Gee, I wonder, in the last few days, give us the timeline when this happened to you, Gerald, but I looked at it before we went on here. Others have been reporting this the last few days. They've stolen the $600 million to cover their bad casino bets and just tell you, go fly a kite somewhere. But now the government is saying they have a nefarious view of this. I mean, I guess if I go rob a bank for $600 million a day, will they a couple days later say, oh, the CFTC has a nefarious view of what Alex did with his shotgun? Gerald.
Yeah, that's it. Again, you know, it's the two-tier system. As I said, the word justice, everybody's spelling it wrong. It's J-U-S-T-U-S, just us. There's no justice out there for these guys. As you said, yeah, oh, Alex Jones committed a nefarious act. Let's see how it plays out. Boy, they'd have you down on your belly with your hands behind your back with handcuffs on that you're losing the circulation in your arms if you turned any dirty deal. But for the other guys, let's see how it plays out. And I want to go back to this, Alex. We can break it. The people can break it. And this is the way it can be done. This is the Christmas to bring Christmas back into the spirit. Let's start breaking the chains. As you said, buy from local craftspeople. Buy whatever you like, but make sure you're buying quality. It's made in America, and you can afford it. Don't buy one thing from the chains. Do you realize that Walmart has 10% of all the retail action in this country? When I was a kid growing up, there were stores everywhere that people used to own. You could have your own business. Imagine that. You didn't have to be a clerk or a cashier when you grew up.
And by the way, you get horrible service at these big box stores, too. Back when we had all these choices, if people didn't give you service, they went out of business. So we had a higher service economy. When you pulled up, they had entry-level people to check your car, check the tires, check the oil, and give you some service. And they've done studies that actually cars break down more now because you don't have that service. But Gerald, I want you to finish up there, but I want to put a quote back up here. The hundreds of millions of dollars missing from MF Global accounts may have disappeared 4 days before the firm filed for bankruptcy at the end of October. You need to be interviewed by Forbes and others as one of the victims. You can give them more intel. They're running around at Forbes and Reuters just in the last hour and a half. This is breaking. I guess you broke it first on RT earlier today. They're running around wondering what's